guys are up.
Oh, we are?
Come on in.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's right.
You're here right on time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Kids did good in baseball. The boys did good in baseball this year.
Yeah.
It's good to watch.
That's fine.
Did you guys get the letter I mailed with all this stuff? Does anybody need a copy? It's just a review of.
See, I don't think I got one.
Yeah, I think I mailed them about 2 weeks ago. So Kayla and I are here representing the Cheyenne County Conservation District. If you look at this first page, it says operations. This is the tax funded dollars that we get from Cheyenne County and then also the state of Kansas. So that's kind of where we're at for 2013 and where we're at for 2024 and what we're looking at for 2025. This year, the only thing that's different is that the state of Kansas has increased their matching funds. So in years past, if we got $25,000 from the county, the state of Kansas matched it as close as they could at 25, but now it's going to be around 35,000. So if we get 25 from you guys, we are able then to leverage that and get $35,000 from the state of Kansas. It comes from this water bill that Governor Kelly has signed for 2 years. So that is good for a 2-year deal until they get a permanent bill into Topeka and get it signed. Nothing else really out of the ordinary that we have. I'm getting, I shouldn't say the district is getting, if you look at towards the bottom, it says $20,000 for admin fees for the South Fork RR compact. That's our Republican River RCPP that we have through NRCS, and the $20,000 is from the Kansas Water Office to account for admin fees and keeping track of that fund that we have. So that is extra income coming for that, but it's reimbursing the district back for time that I spent working on that. Then if you flip it over, I have the enterprise fund, which is basically the small business account that the district uses for the tree sales and weed barrier sales, drip line, all of that, the retail side of it. We use the enterprise fund to help fund education, annual meeting, projects like that, whereas the operation is mainly payroll, state taxes, federal taxes, all that stuff. So that's where we're at. Same thing, 2023, what I'm looking at for 24 and what we're proposing for 25. So the money that we get from Cheyenne County goes into the operations. The enterprise, I just report on and show you guys kind of where we're at too. So any questions I can answer or Kayla could answer for you guys? Good.
So the 25,000 will be the same as it was last year then?
If that's what we're asking for, so that we can leverage that. I think it comes out to like $34,200 and something, $91, I believe, from the state. So we're looking at about a $10,000 increase, but your amount stays the same. If we get 25 from you guys, we get 30.
So there won't be a
budgeted that,
matching,
so-
they'll
It'll be an extra. Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah,
That's neat.
they kind of looked across the board, and the problem is a lot of people in my positions in the state are leaving because there's better benefits elsewhere and whatever, so they're trying to incentivize keeping district managers here.
And that was coming out of the state water?
State water plan.
Okay, sorry, I didn't get
Yep.
that.
So the 20,000 from the South Fork, did you say that is kind of reimbursement for?
Yeah, for my time spent,
They got a $500,000
Yeah.
to use for that project, so that 20% is 5%, right?
it is 20.
No,
Yep,
2%.
it's-
Whatever that comes out.
It comes out, I'm getting,
The district got to keep
Yes.
whatever percentage of that $500,000 for admin fees.
Is that like for the tree removal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So like the stack payments that I'm able to process is from the Kansas Water Office out of the compact funds that the state received from Colorado. The Kansas Water Office provided the district with $500,000, and as producers complete projects through the RCPP, I'm able to supplement an additional payment to producers that complete it out of that $500,000. And that's in a completely separate fund, yeah. And I turn all that into the Kansas Water Office. It has to be audited and treasurer's report sent in, so they receive that stuff.
Well, it's been a good program.
Good,
I think it's helping the
yeah,
flow of the river, Lebanon River.
It looks completely different.
it does.
Down on the river bottom now.
It does. It's neat to
A lot of
drive up
you
that
right
way.
along through here, but
Pass the word.
That's right. Any other questions I can answer for you guys, or Kayla could?
no.
All right.
Thanks for what
Well,
you
thank
do.
you for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Sure, we live in San Juan, so.
Yeah, you better behave.
Well, at least he doesn't, what was it, Terry and Roger are there for a while, to answer to.
Yeah, but I didn't have to come in for this.
See ya.
Did you get hold of that?
No. Morning off. He said he don't know what he's doing. He'll be here as regular too.
He says Wade did find a similar to the model Open originally quoted. It's a little more powerful, about 175 to 200 more. So I don't think that's bad.
You shouldn't have to review that, should you, for that amount?
I think so.
I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
If it were double, yes. You'd have-
Right.
yeah.
Chris just came in. Okay. Hi, Chris. Chris is here.
Good morning.
Do you want to see, I just text Hanson, do you want to see if you can call him and get him up here, who's going to come up? We're about ready. Mike Hanson's going to come up so he can give you a little bit more information too if you have questions. Mike Hanson, our noxious weed. Hey, Annie.
Hello.
All right.
Should be one for each.
You're up.
Come on, Roger.
I thought there was just three of you, but you'll have to share.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your time today. I'm here today because the governor said I should speak to the commissioners. Chemical companies are lying to the farmers and all of us. In 2020, dicamba was to be banned for the destruction of trees and the drifting problem and the poisoning of people. The chemical companies made a compromise with the government saying we will rewrite the warning labels. and figure out how far it must be away from people, buffer zones. It was never done, so 4 more years of poisoning our own country and the people while we continue to lie to the farmers. Finally, in 2024, dicamba was banned. The government banned dicamba for the destruction the chemicals cause. The government banned dicamba for the destruction. I have positive test results of drift of the chemicals, of all the chemicals. Basically what I'm trying to say is it's not just dicamba, every single one of them. Off the window of my house, the food, are positive every time. They lie to the farmers about all the chemicals because the chemicals is positive for drift. Parents tell me one of their kids screams all night from the inflammation in their joints, but the other kid does not. As I meet elderly couples that the spray drift affects but one, but not the other. So as the elderly live in fear, unable to complain because of their social status is more important than their own lives. Waking each day wondering, is this the day it's coming? Will I get to my sons in time? Will I have the windows of the house open, or the fact that I have the family animals outside? Is this how the elderly should spend their last days? After losing years of my life to lies, 1 man and 3 countries cared, or I would be dead. When are we going to quit believing their lies and care about their elderly and children 3 days a season? It's clear we have to take care of ourselves and each other. I've wanted to make a large investment into a geothermal greenhouse, bananas and mangoes for local produce, but I cannot grow clean food when you're being drifted. I understand when hail hits trees, leaves grow back. Words of the inspector, the trees are dying from the top, that is chemical. The roots are still alive. Look at my place, it's pretty clear whose trees are being drifted and whose are not. So tell me what we are to do. This county should have a warning label, highest cancer rate, highest amount of spray. I don't think the chemical companies would be willing to pay for my dead trees just because they have a big heart. They even want to pay for the people that are spraying for the destruction of the trees because they know they're killing the trees. What are the sick and weak to do? Where are we to go? And in your packet, you'll see the positive test results of 2 different years. Off the window of my house and the food, every chemical, the ones that are that don't show detection, they're blank swabs. And this is the second one's even with the most high-tech John Deere sprayer that supposedly doesn't drift. The second thing is about a 4-page article on why they banned dicamba. Another letter from me. The Clean 15 and Dirty Dozen from EWG. And here's the attorney that if you, people want to just cash in on this payoff of killing our trees, I'd be glad to share the information. This is what I have for you today. My main point is that they're lying to the farmers. My results say it is. The federal government banning say it is. When are we gonna see the truth?
Is this all spraying, aerial spraying, or what?
Ground sprayers is the ones I'm dealing with. But I'm sure they have the same issue with the drift. Thing of it is even if you don't get hit with the drift, it's gonna live for several days after. And what I try to explain to people is when they're laying down that strip in the field, you get a wall of stuff, and people that have bad lungs can't breathe in it. The next pass, you're laying down that strip, that measured amount for that next strip, but you're still getting another cloud. 16 passes later, you get a whole lot of it. And then where stuff valleys in, it all concentrates. And with the wind, it flows right in. I mean, you can go out and look at my trees and look right across the road. Whose trees are dying and whose are not, you know? And it seems to be a thing that once somebody buys something, just like my neighbor across the road, the trees are killed. That was another John Deere sprayer. You know, we come here to help the farmers, be mechanics, not to have our families poisoned.
The people that are spraying around your house, they see that there's a 10-mile. If the wind's more than 10 mile per hour, you're not supposed to spray. Are these people spraying when the wind's higher than that?
I think the John Deere was right about 12, but both of them are real close to their legal amount. And that's why we're concentrating on them, because it's, you know, they're
Right.
told that they can spray, you know, they got the newest technology, they can spray when it's blowing this much or whatever.
Okay.
But obviously, I mean, the government was supposed to protect us. I mean, the chemical company said they were gonna put in some protection for people.
Mhm.
And they just didn't do it, flat out didn't do it at all. And that's my whole thing, that's why I've been, you know, the lawyers for the chemical company.
Mhm.
I don't blame the farmer, they're the ones that are being lied to. All of us are. I mean, it's being banned all over the world. And that's the one thing that concerns me with the farmers, is now states are going in and measuring their ground, or testing their ground, and if it's so contaminated, they're taking the farmer's land saying you can't grow food there no more. There's 10 states doing it. You know, it's like, we need to wake up or something. I don't know what the future's gonna come, but we gotta quit watching this news and start paying attention to what's going on around the world.
How do they measure that in half-lives? If there's chemical on the ground, is it,
I'm not sure, but each label has, like, 2,4-D, you can only use 4 pounds per acre per growing season, which
Right.
isn't very much.
No, and that's the whole point of, that's what I'm getting, it's the cloud that comes off the chemical,
Right.
the drift. It's, you know, it's not just one pass, it's every single pass,
right?
you know, and I get it, you know, more people that come to me and sit there and say in tears, why doesn't it affect him? You know, why am I the one with all the pain and swelling up? You know, and it's the swelling of the throat and the joints, you know, and it's, I thought it was just me, but no. More and more and more people are coming to me. And there's people that have been on the diet a year that I've been doing, detoxing, trying to clean out.
Right.
And so watch for the happy, shiny people. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
and that's totally nothing
Have-
here, sorry.
have
But
you-
it's, I just don't understand why they're not doing this in any other county. My whole family's farmers, and they just are mind blown. Even my GMO soybean uncle that's suffering from the chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'll sit there and say, we have to wait a week sometimes to spray next to somebody, because common sense here is you spray when the wind's blowing away from people.
All right.
And it's just like,
Right.
you know, I just don't get what it, you know, because if this is the deal, then, you know, you should tell people, don't buy land here, you're gonna be sprayed, period, you know.
So, I'm trying to figure out ways to get you answers, because I've talked to you a lot. Have you contacted KDHE, I take it?
Who?
Probably the KDA.
KDA?
Griff complaints, you'd have to go file up.
No, I go to the Department of Ag is who I file my complaints with.
And you have to do that within 90 days?
In 90 days of the spray job.
So,
Yeah, but there's only like 14 days that they come to test or whatever, I don't know.
well,
And see, that's the thing with every chemical is different. Like you're asking about the life of, I think atrazine's one of them that it never, you know, it's always there. You know, and that's the whole thing. They give all this stuff to the farmer, they're on the radio all day about how great it is and everything else, but they ain't reading the warning label any, you know, telling them what's up. I mean, the man that sprayed me the first year, killed my dog, everything around my house, wasn't even licensed for the state. So he sends his friend in from Simplot, not licensed for the state either. You know, is that what we are here is just I'll let anybody come on in and poison people?
What does he,
I
what would
mean,
you?
if they're spraying in Kansas, they'd have to have a Kansas applicator license of some kind.
Right. The farmer got a warning, Simplot got a fine.
And this is happening again and again, I take it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 30 years, I got hit 3 times by my old neighbor. And they were good to me, come talk to me, offered to pay for the trees they hit. I said, no, I just want to grow food for my grandkids. That's the whole thing I want to do, is grow
Yeah.
food.
I saw his trees, they were like dead, half on the top on some of them and stuff, so I mean, I understand that there's an issue. What can he do?
I mean, drift happens
Right.
if you're, I mean, like organic laws are, the organic producer's supposed to have a 200-foot buffer from their property line into wherever they're growing their organic stuff.
What about where he's doing his organic farming year-round? Does that mean that they need to stay 200 feet away from his property line?
No, he has to have the buffer on his property for them.
Okay.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing with, I mean, he's come and threatened my life on my land, and the sheriff won't come out and take the report or come see the damage, you know, but they'll escort a sprayer. I just don't understand, you know, this is intimidation or what's up with that. But for the last 5 years, every time they've sprayed my property, except one. So when is it purposely trying to destroy someone's home?
I don't really have the answers for you. Eye-opening.
Well, I guess that's the only thing I can come to is
We need to
with
figure.
his threat of I'm gonna destroy you and keep sending his friends. We've been getting some great positive test results. You know, and it's not what I wanna be doing. I wanna be
Right.
growing food. You know, and I've looked for 4 years for a piece of land a mile away. Because if you talk to the Organic Growers Association, that's the reality. They're having tomatoes hit a mile away. And that's a big push to get dicamba off the, out. But my point is it's not just dicamba.
Well,
Every single 2,4-D, atrazine, glyphosate, every one of them's positive off the window of my house and the food. So they're lying to them about all of them. And that's the whole thing is like, you know, when are we as Americans going to start taking care of each other? Instead of believing all these chemical companies, all these things, our government's selling everything off that we don't know nothing. You know, why do you think we have Nutrient here? Because it's being banned around the world, their stockholders were upset, and here they come. You know, it's not on our radio, obviously. But if you pay a little bit of attention to world news, it's happening everywhere. And they're taking farmers' land. That's what we really need to understand. Everywhere.
Can we get him the numbers that he'll need if this, to get the ball rolling so he can, and I don't know what can we do to help at all or anything.
There's a complaint system that Chris has been utilizing, and that's where it has to start,
Okay.
from my understanding.
I mean, I would probably utilize the KDA, the pesticide complaint website, and get an anemometer, and when they're out spraying, check and see what the wind is, and if you can prove it's drifting onto you with the National Weather Service, then the KDA would do what they need to do with that.
KDA, you said?
Yeah, KDA.
Well, I just been going through the Department of Ag because that's,
Can
you know,
you,
in the first few years, they didn't want to come.
can you get him the numbers and contacts?
Yeah, over and over. You know, we've actually got a new KDA inspector out here.
Okay.
Our last one had quit, now we got a new one, so.
I think that's probably gonna be the best place to start, and then what do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, and I've tried to get the sheriff and me and the neighbor to meet. I wrote him letters. I've tried to get me to meet with Gilbert. That didn't work out. He just kicked me off his land. It's like, I'm just trying to show you the truth. You know, I don't want anybody's money.
Right.
I want to grow food for kids. Because if somebody don't start doing it in this country, there's gonna be nothing left. I don't know what else to say. But I'm done with this ridiculousness of acting like a bunch of 2-year-olds spraying my land, trying to poison me off of it. I mean, I can't even stay out there. And this has been going on 5 years. I was staying in tents when they'd come spray. And the first Department of Ag report has all the vet bills that all of a sudden exploded for my animals once I got my new neighbor. Statements from a vet specialist that deals with chemicals. I mean, it's not like I just got nothing better to do than aggravate a bunch of people. That's definitely not what I'm about.
Right.
But, and I wouldn't be here. I don't want to be here.
Right.
When I got old people coming to me telling me their stories, it's like, and they're too scared to come talk to you. They're too afraid. They're too afraid to file a report with any of these people. And that makes me sick.
Do you have anything else to tell him?
I think we'll just get you lined up with the KDA and see what they can do for you and get a good
Appreciate that.
anemometer.
And then let me know, I mean, you've communicated with me, let me know how it's going.
The unfortunate reality is drift does happen, and this is northwest Kansas, and you could start spraying now and then the wind could come up and start blowing 20 miles an hour. That's the way it is. But on the other hand, these guys also want to grow a crop themselves, and certain chemicals you can't put down if you plan on growing corn or milo the next year, and they know that as well. So I don't think it's anything intentional, it's just things happen.
Well, I just don't get that because it's every single time they spray, it's blowing at me. I don't know how that can't be purposely, but I understand the wind changes, and I understand that I've been sprayed and the next day or 2 days later it blows away from me all day long. You know, and it's I'm not the one that's taking the responsibility to spray this stuff. And I get what he's saying. Even after it's put down, the heat, it lifts for days, you know, I don't know how long. At least a few days, because I know how I can't breathe. You know, I have scarred lungs, and that's the way other people are that can't breathe. You know, everybody else can breathe just fine.
Well, let's start with the numbers, and you get in contact with them and let them know what's going on. I think it's a good step, a positive step in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, I left the farm because I knew a long time ago that it was a mess. So my heart bleeds for the farmers. It does. They're in a situation that I don't see how we're going to ever get better.
Okay.
You know, except for, I guess, Tim Riley's our light of hope. He's getting it done, but I think most farmers can't afford the transition. You know, because it takes a couple years for the ground to heal and get the moisture back in it, the biological life, and all that good stuff. But I do have people that are long-time life sprayers come to me, and kids and parents, to learn how to detox and get their guts to stop hurting. And it's amazing to me, guys that have sprayed most all their life, and to watch their eyes light up and come back to life as they get cleaned out. And I wish I had the ultimate lymphatic system and none of us would be here. But I don't.
Were these for us to keep, Chris?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because at this point, that's what I'm saying. We got to educate each other. It's time for Americans to help Americans and start feeding Americans. Because the mess our country's in of just defragmenting everything. And when Monsanto's owned by Bayer, I mean, we've sold everything. And it's just like we're stuck in the middle of it.
Well, You get him that information, and Chris, did you have anything else?
No, I think that was it. Thank you.
Thank
your
you
time.
for
I
coming in.
appreciate it.
And let me know how it goes.
Okay.
Thank you, Hanny, for coming in.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
You're up, Zona.
That was interesting. I know how he feels. Anyway, thank you for having me today, and I want to thank you guys for last year's donation to the food pantry. It was a great big help. We are seeing a few more extra families this year. A lot of people lost their SNAP, which is the food stamp program. Kids are out of school right now, so it's struggling feeding them snacks and lunch since they're not in school. We have been having some issues procuring a meat source from the local food bank in Wichita. They haven't had any donations, so our meat donations have dropped dramatically. And in order for us to supply the community, those in need for their meat, it's expensive going to the local store. I mean, at $6 a pound for a hamburger, we just can't do it.
Right.
You know, we do our best. I spend $300 to $400 a month for food for the food bank. Most of that comes from the food bank itself in Wichita. I do try to get stuff locally from the grocery store when it's on sale. If I can afford it, we'll do it. I just spent $2,000 at the grocery store for non-perishables, some meats that can stay frozen, hot dogs, lunch meat, stuff that was really cheap. But a lot of the families are asking, how come we're not getting any more chicken? How come we're not getting any hamburger? How come we're not getting this or that? We just can't do it. If I can't afford to purchase it, we can't do it. Versus the food bank, I get it for pennies on the dollar, 16 cents a pound for the meat. But they haven't been able to get any meat either. So we've been struggling with that part. Our commercial fridge just went down for the second time in 6 months. I'm plagued with that right now, trying to get it repaired or having to purchase a new one or a used one. They're not cheap. The commercial fridge we have right now is probably 15, 16 years old. And it's been going strong for 12 years, but now it's having its moments. I've got Jared Sowers supposed to come out, try to fix it again. The last couple of times we've just had the refrigerant put in it. But there's a leak somewhere in it, so he's got to pinpoint where the leak is, if it's feasible to fix or not. So, like I said, we greatly appreciate last year's donation. We were looking to see if we could get another donation this year out of your budget to help us.
I think we did, didn't we up it too?
What's that?
Didn't we up it?
Yeah, last year you guys gave us a donation, said to come back this year.
Oh, okay.
Get her on the appropriation list
Okay.
in the budget.
Okay.
What was it, like 2,500?
It was 38.
38, that's
Yeah.
kind of what I was thinking. Yeah, she came in after the
Okay.
budget was done.
Yeah, I
Where
came
did it
in
come
after, right at the end of you guys' budget last
I
year.
don't know, but if you could get it into the appropriations for a yearly thing.
Okay. All right.
Can we do that now, or?
He's saying we can if we get it in appropriations. What do
Are
guys-
you needing money this year also? So it'll be two different
And that was
things.
3,800?
Yeah.
So we give them 3,800 last year, but nothing this year?
No, because it wasn't budgeted. She came in last year after we had our budget.
Right, I
completed.
came in last year right after your guys' budget cut off, and you were able to help us still.
Okay.
But you said to come back and
Okay.
have it put in for your yearly budgets.
Okay.
Thought you come in close to the holidays, didn't you?
I'm sorry?
I thought you come in close to the holidays.
Yeah, it was. And it was a big help because we were able to supply holiday stuff, you know, the turkey for Thanksgiving and Christmas, the
Good.
holiday meals.
Good.
So we need a motion to put it
I
on?
would assume, because it's over 1,500,
Yeah.
$3,800 appropriation.
To make, well, you need to make a donation to her and then you can set the appropriation. what you wanna do.
Well, I'll make the motion to do that.
It's been moved and seconded to appropriate $3,800 out of general for the food bank to Zona Potter. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
And then you want to make a line item on the budget for the appropriations? So it's
Okay.
annual?
Yes, we'd like to make that a line item on the budget.
Same
so it's
amount?
annual. Yeah, I think so.
We need the motion to do that.
So, same amount, Zona? Okay.
Let's just make the line item at 4,000.
Okay. Are you
I'll
okay with it?
second it, yeah.
It's been moved and seconded to create a line item for 4,000 for the food pantry, Zona Potter. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay. All right.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
We
Thank you for what you're
greatly
doing.
appreciate it. That 4,000 goes a long way.
Well, and look at it this way, Zona, you don't have to come back every year unless you need more.
No, trust me, I pinch and skirmish on every single penny that we put into that food bank, and that goes a long way for us.
You're doing
Because-
good.
Because it gives us a chance to purchase produce, you know.
Right.
I can get produce from the food bank, but then I have the problem of it going bad before distribution day, especially if I don't have the commercial fridge up and running. Our truck delivery is 2 to 3 weeks before distribution day, so we're very leery about buying produce during the summer. If I buy produce, it's local at the grocery store. I can get it ordered in and I get it the day before distribution. So this helps with that because I know the produce is more expensive going through the grocery store. Where versus the food bank, I get it free, but I don't want it to go bad.
Right.
Well, I don't know what to tell you about meat because beef is unbelievable high right now.
I know.
I don't see an end for a while. We're
I don't either.
short of cows, we're short of, I just saw some 400 or 570 pound steers brought $4.50.
Yeah. It's
Now,
rough
what are
out
they
there.
gonna be worth when they get to 12 to 1,400 pounds to
Right.
to
To make
slaughter?
it.
It's rough. And, you know, every now and then I have a benefactor, basically. And they'll donate, 60 to 80 pounds of hamburger a year. But I haven't seen it for over a year right now. I mean, it is slim pickings out there. And I get it.
Yeah.
So anything we get is greatly appreciated. Thank you much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You guys have a good day.
You too. You're up, sir.
Sorry, I didn't see your message.
It worked out.
It did work out. Thank you.
Everybody's been early today.
So I got a quote for another set of jaws. Those are, it's a little higher, but those are the same jaws we have
Okay, so it'd be
here.
interchangeable
So, yeah, everything be interchangeable,
and portable, of course.
and that set's basically a 10 or 5-year-old set, but it's never been used.
Okay,
They had them, they loaned them out when they'd fix people's, they've never used them.
okay. And you like that kind? I mean, it's durable, et cetera, et cetera? Okay,
We like them, but
okay.
Say it's a 5-year-old set.
it's 5 years old, but it ain't been used, so basically it's new. They are 42,000 new. So,
Drive around the block discount.
How much is this?
32,000. I didn't get the fine numbers on it.
32, 680, 81.
680,
and
81.
this set would be in Bird City then if we get them.
You said normally 40,000 or 45?
They're normally around 42 is what they
Okay,
told me.
okay, thank you. I'm fine with it. It could save a life.
Get the tags off those old fire trucks. I think we have them, yeah.
They're not.
They're not on the truck. no.
Okay, that's good. I was gonna look, I took the titles up there the other day, so I was gonna look and I forgot by the time I left. so.
They brought a little more than I thought, especially the one that don't run.
Yeah,
The one up there sold?
Yeah.
both of them
much?
sold.
How much did it get?
Was it 40,
42? No,
one was 58, right?
no, one was
48,
48, the other one was
42,
32.
42, I think.
That's pretty good.
Somewhere around there.
I'll make a motion to purchase them.
What's the company? I didn't get that, I'm sorry.
Fire Tech.
Fire Tech. Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to purchase the Jaws from Fire Tech for $32,680.81. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
Okay. This is a little worse.
Oh, gosh. See ya.
Save the best for last.
Troy, you're up.
So, that rescue unit's in Meade.
Okay.
It's one of them they've talked about selling, they're not 100% sure they are, but if I give him a go-ahead, he'll go talk to them. Again, they wanna sell it.
10,000 miles? That's not bad.
Right.
Diesel?
Yes,
6, 7?
I'm assuming.
What year is that again?
16, isn't it?
It's the 6, 7 now.
Yeah.
That's a better engine. 7.3, 6.7 are the best ones they put in them.
But, and they're asking 80.
That was why the 80 was on there. I was hoping that was max weight or something. God.
So is this what you put the Jaws in?
Yeah. We need to get some for Bird sooner or later, 'cause their Suburban just ain't. It won't hardly pull itself out of the ditch anymore.
Money that from that sale went right back into the fire, didn't it?
It will, yes.
And we should have it in special fire, shouldn't we?
Yeah, there's plenty of
Okay.
special.
You have this
Yeah,
amount of money
special.
in your special fire?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
So when are you gonna find out if Meade would actually sell it?
But if you give me the go-ahead, I'll call him today and he'll meet with his commissioner Monday.
Okay.
Unless you want me to look elsewhere. I do have,
I like the miles on it.
yeah,
Well, can you offer them and also look elsewhere?
He'll have to wait until
Or
after the
have that
commissioner
time.
meeting Monday, because he's not gonna make an offer and then continue to look, because he'll have to wait.
well, I got this one here, but it's up by Boulder, quite a bit older.
O2, that would have the
It's
7.3.
got 7.3, it's got 60,000 miles on it.
How much is that one?
80.
That one's 80, yeah.
And what do they want? They want 40 for this one? That's
Yeah.
an O2.
And I've not contacted them yet. I just,
6 times the mileage. Which one do you lean towards? Okay, dumb question.
I don't get to drive either one of them, so.
That's nice.
You want that?